What's up, guys? Welcome to Rogue Reviews. My name's Nolan.
My name's Evan.
And this is our spoiler-filled review of The Mummy. So, if you haven't seen The Mummy, don't watch this video, add it to your liked videos, come back, or if you don't care, then you're doing this to yourself. So, alright. That being said, Tom Cruise is The Mummy. Kind of. Not really.
What?
He's death. We think.
Sure.
He's death itself? Is that?
He's Set, the god Set, which I've never heard that name before.
No,
out of any Egyptian, lore, mythology. Not like I'm an expert, but usually it's. I thought Anubis was the god of death, to my knowledge, but it's Set, which might be Anubis. I don't know, a different name, but. So, yeah, Tom Cruise sacrifices himself to give him almighty powers.
It's like, that's really a sacrifice, man.
He had a little bit of a Twilight moment at the end where he's like, I don't know what I am anymore. And it's like, but I can bring people back to life and kill people on a whim, and I have immense powers. But don't look at me, like...
He looked kind of... There's one moment where they, show his face all CGI'd out, and you're like, oh, man, that's creepy.
I was stoked on that. I mean, at least show his face to her once. I mean, come on. I don't know. The setup of this character and kind of riding off in the desert was real cheesy, but we're kind of already setting the bar of the power level of these creatures so high right off the bat. And it's like, it's like Doctor Strange syndrome, where, okay, time and space and matter and everything can just be manipulated on a whim. Where do you go from there? And that's where I'm at with The Mummy, where it's like, okay, well, life and death is now controllable, so,
Especially, they've announced some, projects in the Dark Universe, they said they might do a new Phantom of the Opera. It's like, alright, how does that fit in with this? How does a dude in the opera try to win over a girl?
Thinking about it, I mean, we're also looking at these movies in the mindset of what already exists.
Yeah.
And that's like classics and, very, Nosferatu and Phantom of the Opera singing, but now coming with Universal and just reimagining all these creatures for today's generation, which, I'm not, obviously we've had a lot of failures in that regard, but I'm not going to write it off just yet, but it doesn't mean we should go into these movies thinking we're going to get, the classics like that. This is a reimagining. And, and really thinking about it in that way, we had the characters developed pretty well, especially the Mummy herself. Knowing what she's like, what she brought to the table, I mean, I'm excited to see that character return later.
They don't really close the door on her. They just re-mummify her.
They just re-mummify her and it's like, okay, just disintegrate her body, come on. But then again, then you look at it, well, she can just turn to sand, so what is that going to do? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, there's no tangibility to all of it, and that's sometimes it kind of sucks you out a little bit, and you're like, okay, well, then what matters? What are the borders to this, immense power?
Yeah, so I mean, with this movie, they clearly set up the Dark Universe. They set up that Dr. Jekyll, played by Russell Crowe, is running this whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing against evil. And just the whole movie is just the Mummy getting out, basically trying to inhabit Tom Cruise. There's a knife with a rock that if she stabs Tom Cruise, he will become Set. And at the end, it happens. And then the movie just kind of ends. And it felt like they were building to something, and it just never quite gets there to where you feel satisfied. You're like, alright, it just ends. And I was like, you built up all this great stuff with Sophia being the Mummy, and she was so badass, and then she just kind of gets defeated by Tom Cruise, which, I mean, is understandable. When you cast Tom Cruise in this cinematic universe, I was wondering, alright, he's got to be something else. He can't just be a dude. There are theories going around that he was Van Helsing, that he was Dracula, that he was going to be the Mummy itself, which is kind of where they went, but not really. So I understand why they set that up. It just felt like this movie was just more of a setup. It was a decent setup, but it wasn't great.
It's funny that the one thing they're trying to avoid the entire movie, he just does anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And then giving him all power, and it's like, well, wait, this isn't so bad.
now let me ask you, do you think, like, with these cinematic universes, there's usually an overarching storyline, overarching through line, and is Tom Cruise going to, like, obviously Russell Crowe and his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are going to be in most of these movies, but do you think, like, Tom Cruise could be the overarching hero or even, like, villain throughout these movies?
Well, by definition, he's the god of death.
Yeah.
So they kind of twist it when they speak about it like, oh, but wait, you have power of life and death, where you think god of death, you think, boo, god, damage, destroy, and kill. But they make it like he's can bring life as well. So that being said, it can be either way. I mean, knowing just Tom Cruise, his character in that, and seeing, I don't see them getting super deep with character like, you know, I have so much inner turmoil that I'm going to be a bad guy, you know, when we know that he's a good guy based on the ending, he saved the girl, and he has all power, and then he ends with, why don't we just go on an adventure? And it's like, that guy's not a villain. If they make him a villain, I'm not gonna be like scared of him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hope they don't make him a villain.
They would have to do some serious character development, because the girl says repeatedly throughout the film, like, you are a good man. Like, he's like, all right, well, at the end, you know, he's fighting inside, you know, with his inner demon. Speaking of inner demon, Mr. Hyde with Mr. Jekyll, that was kind of a disappointment for me. It was just a weird CGI version of Russell Crowe. I was like, all right, we're like, they're building up to the moment, and he's like, you know, going crazy. He didn't get the medicine in time to like stop him, and they're like locking down the room. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get full blown Mr. Hyde. It's just kind of Russell Crowe with a red face and like veins, and it's like.
I think the biggest issue with that was the anticipation, the rev up, because you see in the initial transformation, his hands like starting to like turn like blue. With fur, he's like turning the beast. You're like, oh, he's Mr. Hyde, and then he turns, he's like, oh, hello, I'm Jason Statham. We'll make a deal with you, fella, and why don't we rule the world together? It's like, what is this? What is this? Like, the guy from Pagemaster was scarier. Mr. Hyde, you know, like, that was badass. But Russell Crowe's like, oh, Jason Statham, you know.
Yeah, that part was disappointing for me. It just like Russell Crowe, you're like, oh, he's gonna be these two sides to the same coin, and there's so much potential there. I think that's the problem with this movie. It had the potential, like, you can clearly see it at points, like, this could be something great, and they just never got to that level, and it was just disappointing.
I'm not gonna cut the arm off yet. I think someone, like, okay, let's say a director comes in and just kills it with the next movie, or even the third movie, you know, like something like that. Someone's gonna come in here, like, the odds are in favor of someone coming in here and just killing it with one movie, and then everyone be like, okay, now I'm down with Dark Universe, what else do you got? And it'll go from there. I mean, look at Marvel, look at DC.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had failures, and it took, you know, the Captain Americas, the Iron Mans, you know, like those movies to come out to be like, okay, I'm interested now, you know? And
Marvel really started off with a thing, though. Like, Iron Man came out and everybody was like, what is this? And that's the thing, like, Marvel, when they did their cinematic universe, it's just like, all right, this is Iron Man, and then we'll put a quick little thing at the end to, like, say, oh, hey, there's this larger world out there. This movie, it's like, there's a larger world, and we'll just tell this tiny story, you know, instead of, like, Marvel did the flip. And even DC, Man of Steel, like, you know there's a larger world. Superman crashes into Wayne's satellite, you know, when he's fighting Zod. But it's a good standalone story, and I just wish that the Dark Universe would have started out with a better standalone story.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, they're the new guys on the block.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not going to knock it for that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see what's going to happen in the future. So,
what's your most anticipated monster to see in this new Dark Universe?
I don't know. What is it? The Frankenstein. You know, if you mention, okay, if Phantom of the Opera is actually going to happen, I would be most intrigued to see how that would work out.
How that would play out, yeah. That'd be
Because, like, that is operatic and singy and at its core, and then you look at the gist of it all, it's just a guy who has a burned face, you know, so how that would turn into a crazy dark universe from Universal, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any other spoilers, really. I mean, that's kind of just the movie right there. There it is, spoiler review.
Alright guys, what did you guys think of the Mummy? Comment below. Like this video, subscribe if you want to see more from Rogue Reviews, and we'll catch you guys next time.